fly. There we go. Alright. Now let me look at
Get
the
that
messages.
shit the fuck out of here.
I said send a message on Xbox. I didn't say send a message in the chat. There's going to be a lot of messages that I'll probably overlook.
What's going on over there, Jared?
I just stuck it deep into him.
Whoa!
What? Ain't no pausing on that one. This boy got fucked. And he's getting fucked again.
What are you talking about?
This is some Pulp Fiction shit.
Please tell me you're playing some type of game.
What?
Please.
I am playing the show.
Okay.
Deep inside with
Oh,
Ryan Doman of all people. Get
I'm
fucked.
gonna wait for those messages to come.
Hey, yo guys, this is Jared, aka the Saint Sins on PSN, returning to you GameFace Studio viewers with some MLB 13 The Show, ranked online gameplay featuring the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim visiting Target Field to face off against the Minnesota Twins. Our pitching matchup will feature Kevin Correa taking to the mound to face off against the visiting Jarrett Weaver. The meat of the orders are going to be difficult to plow through on both sides, as both teams have very strong hitters looking to break out of the containment of the pitcher-friendly ballpark here in Minnesota. This is some pre-opening day gameplay footage, and as the intro should have tipped you off, this one gets pretty interesting. During one of WyzaNow's Madden Ultimate Team live streams alongside It's Blackjack's Media and xHavoc83x, I opted to spend my time playing rather than babysitting my computer's rendering of one of my previous videos. The result? 2 high-quality games, this one being the second of that session. But let's start this off right. He gone! You can take a seat right over there, Mr. Trout. The Angels won't be needing your services this inning. What a great way to start off a game. 3 pitches, 1 out, no doubts. My opponent is already showing his hand to be extremely swing happy with a highly undisciplined eye. He's already dictated my pitching pace for the remainder of this game. And Albert Pujols can join him on the bench after this punch out to end the first. One thing I'm going to try and beat into Real FB Player 84's head is he better start taking some pitches, because I have no obligation to throw anything over the plate given he's stretching out the strike zone for me. Meanwhile, I'm not going to go down very easy. The first few innings I tend to be extremely patient, almost to a fault, just trying to read their pitching tendencies and how they react when they fall behind in the count. Striking out early in the game isn't so much them getting the best of me, but rather my sacrificing an out for the sake of getting a feel for their tendencies and favorite locations to spot up on. It's also a great way to see how they set up their pitches and how they tend to attack a batter. But some hitters, I tend to forget all about my discipline and become extremely swing happy with. I tend to kind of force myself to try and get a hit with certain players, and Joe Mauer is proving to be that guy at this very moment. I should give my opponent credit for attacking me the way he did, but I'm still going to chalk that up as me beating myself there. Beating myself. Sounds like my typical every night. So with Mauer down on strikes, I slip back into the patient approach with Willingham and sit dead red on this 3-1 pitch that I yanked down the third base line. A poor attempt to cut it off before it can roll softly to the wall allows me the idea to stretch this double into an RBI triple. The relay throw back in is strong enough to third to catch the slower Willingham at the bag and end the inning. But the run still comes across and Willingham is credited with the RBI double. Twins up 1 after the first. But not for much longer. Trumbull's a big strong boy, powering that 2-seamer low and away to right center field and over the tall walls to find the seats. But after the solo blast, I settled back into a groove, mowing down the rest of the order without further incident. Time to open up the offense where Willingham last left off, and oh boy, did my opponent get away with that 2-seamer right in Morneau's wheelhouse. If I just anticipated better and get a good swing on it, odds are that's finding its way into the seats. Can't dwell on that. Just have to remain focused and vigilant that I'll get another pitch in the at-bat to do something with. So long as I stretch him up by working his pitch count, good things will happen for me. And nothing better than working a count full and getting an inside hanging curveball to rip past the Gold Glove caliber first baseman to lead off the inning with a runner on. Next up, my favorite injury-prone, heavy-slugging, switch-hitting catcher turned DH, Ryan Doman. And I'm not wasting any time turning on the first pitch and planting that deep to right field. That's one you don't even bother giving chase to because you know it's at least 10 rows back. Getting all kinds of deep on this boy now. And it's easy to pick up on why I'm crushing Real FB as I get intimate with his innards once more with this Parmalee double in the gap to right center field that'll reach the wall. Mr. Opponent over here is trying to get over in the first pitch every time. He's simply leaving stuff over the heart of the plate as if I'm not going to see or react to it. Not today, good sir. I'm reading you like a poorly written book, and like an English teacher on a bender, I'm marking your mistakes and capitalizing on your every failure. Real FB's giving me the green light to be more aggressive at the plate because he's not adjusting or trying to attack each batter differently. It's like he's trying to pitch to contact but doesn't understand the importance of changing velocities and locations to be effective. I'm perfectly balanced in my approach every time. And with that second hit on the day from Carroll, I've now loaded up the bases for Joe Mauer with only a single out on the scoreboard. The pressure's going to be on me to not be too aggressive in this AB. A slow roller to the second baseman results in a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. And just like that, I give him a pass on the inning that should have, by all rights, broken his will in half. That's the sort of mistake that haunts you. That was my inning to really break this guy down and force him into the uncomfortable position of having to be too deep into a hole to ever climb out of. That didn't feel like a true 3-run inning. That had the potential to see the team bat around the order maybe twice over. Again, I can't dwell on the little mistakes. We're still up, and it's too late for the Angels to start rallying back into this one as I've cracked my opponent's pitching tendencies. This is now my game to lose, and I don't plan to lose control over the next 6 innings. But oh my god, Chris Iannetta, would you just go down already? I'm trying my damnedest just to get him to roll over the top of something. Anything! At first, I just wanted him to put the ball in play, but at some point, I started aiming for the punch-out just to send the message that he's not going to be battling back into this game. No! I refuse to give him a chance to sneak this win out from under me. I'm sitting my big Buddha butt firmly on this win, and there isn't a thing he can do to budge me off of it. My win! Mine and you can't has! So after striking out Iannetta and Borges, time to attack the young star of the team, Mike Trout, once more. We're sitting pretty on 4 Ks on the day, and I'm starting to eye my 5th as I look to strike out the side. If he's going to be a big old grizzly bear fishing outside of the zone, I'm going to keep attacking his undisciplined approach by mixing up speeds and locations that don't come close to the plate. The times he tries to be patient and take a pitch, I've managed to slip some hard stuff by him. And if he's going to keep bumbling about on defense, giving me bases and advancements, I'm going to milk him for everything he's worth. Instead of trying to find a way to turn 2 on every grounder I've hit, he should be focused more on just getting the guaranteed out. A slow grounder to Howie Kendrick will bring home another run, but curiously, he holds on to it, allowing Parmalee to safely reach first on an infield single. That mistake will be costly as this Trevor Plouffe single will not only scratch across another run, but put him in the position of having runners on first and second with 1 out. But again, I give him another get out of jail free card as I can't muster enough strength to find the outfield grass once more. A harsh liner off the bat to floor him on, and then a soft grounder from Mastrioni to the shortstop Eric Ibar end the rally and stop the threat. And speaking of Ibar, I nail him with a low slider on his shins to kick off the next inning, and boy does Josh Hamilton make me pay as he puts a heavy charge behind this 0-2 pitch to the left field bleachers. And just like that, the Angels have clawed 3 runs across the board on 2 loud cracks of the bat. But even though I'm still mowing him down, Rule FB Player 84 is catching breaks. That liner off of Kendrick's back did indeed bounce off the front of the first base bag, allowing him to reach safely on the oddest single I've ever seen. Though it wouldn't come to hurt me, the fact he's getting those kinds of hits is upsetting. He's getting great charges on a lot of pitches he should be rolling over the top of or harshly beating into the dirt. But 2 can play at the long ball game as Josh Willingham goes yard on that 0-2 two-seamer Weaver leaves over in his wheelhouse. Place another crooked number up on the scoreboard, baby. The good guys extend their lead once more. And poor defense on my opponent's part allows the hit parade to continue as this Ryan Domit sky-high fly-out finds a way to drop in over the head of Mike Trout for a double. Follow that up with this rip down the first base line by Parmalee that'll play 2 more, giving the Twinkies a 7-run lead heading into the night. We'd strand the runner on to end the rally in the 4th, and the 5th ended up being uneventful beyond another punch-out for Correa. Jumping to the 6th, where the Angels would begin to threaten once more with a runner on. This rip over Jamie Carroll's head should place both runners in scoring position, but again, my opponent makes a questionable decision, holding them all up to a first and second scenario. I'd escape harm's way as I jam Kendrick on the 1-1 pitch to get him to pop out to the first baseman to end the rally attempt. To kick off the bottom half of the inning, I'd go first pitch swinging with Willingham to get enough of this pitch to find the seats out in right center field. Then on a 1-2 pitch with one out, It would explode once more with this no-doubter that would get lost in the Minnesota night sky out to right. Slap 2 more runs on the board, and the Twins now lead by 9. What's more, Correa is just darting up the strike zone, throwing only 2 pitches over the minimum when he'd face off against the dangerous 3-hole hitter with 1 out in the 8th. However, a hanging 2-seamer that caught just enough plate gets drilled to the seats out and right for a solo shot. That run would kill any hopes of Correa retiring the night with a quality start, but the Angels weren't done with the long balls just yet, as they'd go back-to-back with this Hamilton solo blast. And that run would end Correa's night as I turned the ball over to Casey Fine to finish out the last 5 outs of the game. With a 7-run lead, I'm not too worried about my opponent coming back on me, especially now that I've got a fresh new arm on the mound that'll be more effective in hitting his spots. Fine's first order of business: keep Trumbo in the park. We're not looking to give the Angels any false sense of hope by having them go back-to-back on us. This ain't the home run derby, Junior. You want some runs on the board, you better scratch them across with some small ball. But first, you've got to understand what the strike zone looks like and what kind of pitches you should be swinging at. Kicking off the 9th, we get Callaspo to climb the ladder with us as he goes down swinging at the high heat. Then we end off the game with this soft grounder back to the pitcher off the bat of Peter Borges. Final score, Angels 5, Twins 12. Your player of the game will be Josh Willingham, who finished 4 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Not a bad way to kick off the baseball season, huh, GFS?